By the end of this video, you'll be able to create an AI agent workflow which generates marketing ideas for your business based on current trends. And then use Google Veo3 to generate a marketing video for your product, all with one click. In this video, I'll show you a step-by-step guide of how to build a video generation AI agent for your product marketing needs from scratch. We're going to use n8n as our automation platform. Connect an ideation agent that searches latest trends, pass the idea along to a marketing video prompt agent, which will then use Veo3 to generate a high-quality video, like this.
Shop now and transform your wardrobe with our eco-friendly and stylish collections.
So, let's get right into it.
The first thing you want to do is head over to n8n, and if this is your first time hearing about n8n, do check out my other videos where I'll get you on a step-by-step process on how to get signed up on n8n and get things rolling. So in this case, what you want to do is start with trigger node, and in this case we want to do a chat trigger so that we can chat with the AI agent. And on the second node, you want to connect this to an OpenAI send a message model node, and you can connect it to your OpenAI credentials. In this case, I've already got it all set up. And if this is your first time working with OpenAI through n8n, do check out my other video where I'll guide you again how to set up your account on OpenAI and get the API keys and plug it into your n8n. But in any case, you can leave the rest of the field as is. Message and model. You do need to pick a GPT model from the list. So in this case, we're going to pick GPT-4. And sorry, I'm just going to execute the previous model. Sorry, previous node, type in low, and you should get an input here in a minute. Yep. Cool. So the reason why I want to execute the previous node so that I can drag this variable in, so it's an easy step for me. This is a variable of the chat input. It will change accordingly as to the message, so that's what I'm doing, just dragging it in. Now, with this particular node, what you want to do for this node is to have this particular model act as a idea generation agent, right? So it will also do research because you want it to know what is the latest trend out there and sort of use that as the basis of the idea to market your product, right? So in this case, you want to connect it to a tool which can help it do research more effectively. In this case, I'm going to use Tavily, right? So I'm just going to add this to the workflow. So what Tavily is, think of Tavily like a tool which allows the model to search the internet much more effectively, and you can basically connect your Tavily account. Again, I've got a couple already set up, but I'm going to set one up now just to show you how it works. So you can go to Tavily, right? And in this case, so I'm already logged in. Tavily, go to Playground. Okay, so I'm going to sign up. Sign up with this email. All right. Okay, gotta have some special characters. Okay, so I'm going to go to my email. Here we go. And essentially, you're just going through a standard sign-up process, and once you've done all of that, essentially, you come to this dashboard, and you have your API keys here. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that API key, and then we're going to go back to the Tavily account, sorry, the n8n Tavily on your n8n, and click on save, and there we go. Connection tested successfully. So now you're connected with your with the Tavily account, and so you can set automatically the tool description, resource, search, that's correct, operation, query, and okay, so now the query field is where you want to click on this little button here to let the model define this parameter, so that depending on the topic of the day and stuff like that, it will actually be able to input the right prompt to the tool. All right, so now it's connected to the tool. Just want to make sure everything is connected here. All right. So one thing that you want to do is you want to add a system prompt. So I'm going to add a message there, and then go to system. Choose system as a role. And you want to put in a system prompt. Now, what exactly is the difference between a system prompt and a user prompt here? So a user prompt is the prompt that the AI agent is receiving from, in this case, a chat input. So it's like if you're chatting with ChatGPT, anything that you typed into the chat box is the user prompt, which is your input. Meanwhile, the system prompt is a predefined description of what the AI agent should do. So in this case, we want it to be an idea generation agent for a specific product or business. We want to make sure that we prompt engineer the model such that it'll be effectively acting out that role. Now, what I'll recommend for you to do in these cases is to go to ChatGPT basically and ask it to be a prompt engineer. So what I did was just go to ChatGPT and basically ask it to act as a prompt engineer, create an effective prompt for an AI agent whose job is to scope out marketing video ideas for an e-commerce shop called Sally's Closet. So this is a fictitious e-commerce shop selling women's wear and accessories. The AI agent is part of an n8n workflow connected to Tavily, which is a tool that can be used. There's a schedule trigger. Yeah, this is what I plan to put in later as a schedule trigger, so that it just does it every day, without you having to prompt it. But in any case, it'll shoot these prompts right back at you. So just take the whole thing and then go back to n8n and just copy and paste the prompt. All right, and just gonna try to execute step there. Okay, and there we go. So as you can see, it started acting like how we've pre-trained it, or rather predefined a role for it, right? Okay, so the next node that you want to connect this to is another OpenAI node. And you may ask, hey, why are we connecting it to another OpenAI node? Well, the reason for that is because this particular AI agent is responsible for a certain task, right? So with any system or any workflow, you want to make sure that one model or one agent is specifically focusing on one task, because when you give it a series of different types of tasks, just like a human being, like, it starts not doing that job very well. It starts hallucinating and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that they're agentic in the way that it's purpose-built, right? So this agent takes care of going into the internet, finding out what's the latest trend, and then coming up with the idea, and then passing on that idea onto another agent, which will be the video prompt agent, right? So this is the agent that is responsible for coming up with responsible for coming up with the prompts that we're going to send to Veo3 to generate the marketing video, right? So in this case, it's connected to the same OpenAI account. We are going to use the same GPT-4, and then the prompt comes from the content here, right? So this is the user prompt. Again, the same thing. You want to give it a system prompt to let it know what it's supposed to do. Go back to GPT and again, act as a prompt engineer, create an effective prompt for an image generation agent, and basically it gives you a very well thought out prompt here. So just copy everything and paste it here. All right, execute step. All right, okay. So you can see these are the type of prompts that it's going to feed into Veo3. So describing the scene, the model steps into frame, Cool, all right. Now, so far we've created a series of nodes that's going to define the prompt that goes into Veo3. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to connect it to Veo3 API. And one of the easiest way to do that is to go to this tool called Fal, F-A-L. So Fal.ai. So just type that in. And basically you want to, sign up. Just use your Google account to sign up. All right, so Fal.ai. So essentially, you can think of it as that central place where you have all the API keys to different type of models that generates videos, from video generation models, right? So it's just one of the easier way to get access to Veo3 API keys at the moment, and then expect sometime in the future they might actually release their own API keys where you can get directly from them. But for now, with Fal, it works quite well. So what you want to do is first of all go to Fal Veo3 block or documentation. The easiest way I find that you can do that is just to type in Fal Veo3 and then just click on this link here, block.fal.ai /Veo3, and click on this model link here, and then you'll be led to this page, right? So what you want to do is toggle over to the API tab and click on the HTTP curl that is already here. And what you want to do is scroll down, and here it is, the curl command that we love to use. But in this case, because we're setting up a HTTP node, what we want to take note of is the post request URL here. So what you want to do is to just copy that, because you're going to use it later on in your HTTP node. So copy that link here, and then we go back to our workflow, and here we want to add the HTTP request node. And in this case, it's a post request because we're posting to the API Veo3 in this case to generate a marketing video for us based on the prompt, which is here. All right, so so that's the post method. The URL is essentially the URL that we've just copied, and we're just going to paste that here. Now it needs authentication. So in this case, we're going to click on generic credential type, and then click on header auth. And then in this case, I've previously set up a couple of authentication before, but I'm just going to set one up right now so you can see how easy it is to do that. So in this case, Fal authentication demo. Let's see. So okay, so you have two fields here, name and value. What you want to do is to go back to the curl request. As you can see, the header name is actually authorization, so you want to just copy that and paste it here. Meanwhile, the value you want to type in so key, and then the API, right? So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to toggle this to expression so you can see what I'm typing in. Key, and then the API key, right? So where do we get the API key? Now, this is where you want to go back to your Fal.ai dashboard, go to your API keys, add key. So just to show you how it's done, you want to add a new secret key, and then in this case, n8n test demo key. All right, so we're going to create that. And there you go. You have to copy this key right now because the way Fal works is once you get out of here, you're not going to be able to copy this key. So you want to make sure that you copy that and then paste it here, right? You need to select fix. I'm just toggling it to expression so you can see exactly what I'm typing out, right? So, all right, so I'm going to click save there. Cool. All right. Okay, so that's header auth done. So the next part you want to configure is to send the body. Again, when we send a HTTP request, it's not just the header. Usually the authentication part comes under the header, which is why you have the header auth. But you need to define, in this case, the prompt information within the JSON body. So we're going to pick, so JSON's correct here, but we're going to pick using JSON for the specific body. Now, I'm just going to go back to the curl request earlier, and then I'm going to copy this whole thing from the curly bracket to the other curly bracket and just copy that. So I'm gonna open it up so you can see. We're gonna paste everything here, and what we want, let me just toggle that to expression. There's already an expression. Okay, so what we want is to replace this whole chunk because this is a predefined example from Fal.ai. We don't want this, it's not relevant to us, so we're gonna drag this particular content because this is actually a prompt that we want. So you can see the result here. It contains the entire prompt, so that's correct. Cool. All right, so everything looks right. We're going to try to execute that step. JSON parameters needs to be valid JSON. Okay. So this is a pretty common issue that a lot of people encounter. It's because we are injecting a lot of curly brackets within the curly brackets here, so it's having a tough time rereading that. So you can just format it actually so that it looks something like this. One easy way, if you're not familiar on how to work with JSON, is to just feed it into GPT or any AI models to just kind of format it correctly for you. But essentially, yeah. And again, all of this is gonna be available on the template. So once you download that template, you actually have all of these as well. So I'm gonna now with that new formatting, I'm gonna execute the step. And so you can see there's an error here. It says user is locked, reason, exhausted balance, top up balance at Fal.ai. So in this case, what we can surmise from this is that the HTTP request actually went through. So the node is working as expected. The only problem here is that we don't have any balance in our Fal.ai account. And of course, you're going to need to top up that account in order for it to allow you to use Veo3 image generation because it takes a lot of compute power to do that, right? So what I'll do is going back to Fal.ai, and I'm going to go to billing. Right, and I'm gonna top up $10. All right, so once you've topped up, we're gonna run the step again just to see. There we go. So now it works, and I'm just gonna rename this to Veo3 for Veo3 post request. All right. All right, now what you've done is you've set up an agent which researches the trending topics and the marketing idea around a video, and that idea gets passed on to your video prompt agent, which will generate a prompt, an effective prompt for Veo3 to generate that set marketing video. Now the next step you want to do is you want to have a wait note, right? In this case, let's put 90 seconds, right? And the reason why we want to wait is, remember, we have just posted a video request to Veo3, and it's currently generating the video. It takes time. It's not going to be immediate. So once that's done, what we want to do is to get the generated video. So in this case, we want to have a HTTP request, which is a get video from Fal Veo3, right? So basically, it's a get request with these URL field. And how do you fill in this URL field, right? So what you want to do is go back to documentation. So previously we were looking at the curl request, and you want to scroll further down to. So there are two requests here. One is the fetch request, fetch status request, and then there's the get result. So in this case, you want to copy the get status first, and there's a reason for this, and I'll show you a bit later. So in this case, get video status actually. Right, and we want to execute the previous node. Okay, so we executed the previous nodes. The reason why we want to execute the previous nodes is because we want to change this request ID onto the actual request ID that we receive from this node here. So the idea is that we want to fetch the video from Veo3, and in order to do that, it needs to know which particular video that it needs to fetch for you. And it could tell which video it is by the request ID, right? So we're just gonna drag that, put it in here. And in this case, again, we're not actually fetching the video, we're just fetching the status of the video. We wanna know whether it's ready or in progress, right? So authentication, same thing, is the header auth, and it's the same authentication that you've already set up earlier here. So I'm gonna execute step. And as you can see, it says a bunch of status here, and is that, sorry, the status says it's completed, right? So cool. Okay, the reason why do we need to know, or why do we want to fetch the status and not the image immediately? The reason for that is if the image is not ready and we fetch it immediately without checking on the status, the workflow would just stop, right, if it's not ready. And so in this case, what we want to be able to do is, after checking that the status is ready, that's when we can actually request for the video URL, right? So this is where another HTTP GET request, but this is actually get video URL request, right? And the URL link for this one, again, go back to the documentation, and now you want to get the actual result, and this is the link that you want to be copying and pasting it back here. Again, you want to change this request ID with the same request ID that you have in the loop, right? So pull that in, authentication, same thing, generic credential type, header auth, and Fal authentication demo. And I'm just gonna click on execute step there, and there you go. You actually have a URL here. So let's just check out the video. That's pretty good, I guess. Okay, so that's working well. What we want to add here, again, this is assuming that once you waited 90 seconds, the video is ready and everything works well. But the reason why we want to check this is because in the case where the video is not ready, we want to add a loop, in this case an if node, to check on the status, right? So if the status is equal to, it's equal to completed, okay, and that's true, then it will get passed on to get the video URL request. Otherwise, if it's false, which means it's not ready, it's going to go back to wait for another 90 seconds before it gets the video again, or tries to get the video again, right? So in this case, get the status, and if it's completed, then it'll get the video. So this is important because otherwise the workflow will just break down when the video is not ready and you try to get the URL right away. All right, so yeah, that's the easy way to kind of set everything up and being able to automate everything from idea generation, video prompt generation, and all the way to getting the actual marketing video ready. So one last thing before we go, of course, this URL link lives right now within n8n. So what you want to do is probably being able to have it automated out of n8n. So in this case, you can put, for example, a Gmail note, Gmail send a message, right? And I've got my Gmail account set up, but it's it's easy to set it up. You click on create new credential. It's one click, connect to your Google account, and you can actually start using your Gmail. So in this case, it's a message send to. So in this case, I want it to be sent to my email. Right. Sally's subject would be Sally's Closet Marketing Video. Okay, email type, text, and so the message will be this URL here, the video URL. Okay, and execute step, and there we go. That's sent. Let's check our email. Yep. So ignore this particular one, but basically this is the link, and that's your video for the day. So basically the workflow is ready. Maybe the one last thing you want to do is to just change this to a scheduled trigger, if you like, so that it could actually be scheduled at a certain point every day if you want a daily marketing idea, daily marketing videos. Of course, you can do per week, whatever the case may be. You can set the time when you want to trigger this. So let's say every day at 10 a.m. You want the AI agent to search the internet, to find you more ideas and stuff like that. That could work as well. But when you change that, of course, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the prompt is changed. You now don't have the chat prompt, so you have to just, in this case, you would put a fixed prompt, which is create an impactful marketing video, for example, right? So because this is fixed, so every time the schedule arrives, which is every day at 9 a.m. in this case, or 10 a.m., it would get a prompt, which is create an impactful marketing video, and it will run that and will send everything to your email. Basically the video URL will be ready in your email at around 9 or 10 a.m., whichever the case may be. So this is the easy way to basically put together a workflow which leverages Veo3 and having AI agents, a series of AI agents which understand your business. Again, in the system prompt, you can put a lot more information about your business so that it can customize the idea and the video to your liking. But yeah, let me know if you face any issues in any part of the build. Let me know if you have any ideas on what you want to see me build in the next video. But otherwise, if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.